but it's there too. I just think it's cool because I think it's so cool that our Sangha is doing is that everybody's so engaged, doing so many wonderful things. The monthly vigil, Solidarity Vigil at Courthouse Square is this month on the 28th. And as some of you know, I've been doing interfaith work and sanctuary work. And there's an amazing interfaith group in Minneapolis because they formed around George Floyd and all of that. But it's just like to see videos or to hear them talk. It's like they're from every tradition, and there's all these different colors and languages, and it's just it's so moving to me. And what they've done is ask that interfaith people from all over the country come there tomorrow. Well, actually come today for a training and a grounding. And then I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow, but they're all showing up together. So it seems to me kind of brave and beautiful what they're doing. But there's also something happening here, a fast that starts at noon today. There's an opening of it in San Francisco, and then a closing of the fast tomorrow at noon tomorrow, with also, it says pray, protest, and protect. And there's information up there. I'm going to start fasting. I'm going to do the fast, and I'm going to go down on tomorrow on Friday. So, and of course, any of you, and you can just do it in your home too. So we're all finding our way. Which leads right into, I think. So we've been this month, maybe a little bit next month, our focus has been the topic of what is Zen and how do you live it. And Tuesday, Gretchen, Sangha member Gretchen, she jumped. She's so glad her talk is over now. She gave a really beautiful talk on Tuesday. It was so sweet and so sincere and so present. And so what I want to do today is I want to jump off of that sum. And those of you who know me, I brought some of my usual show and tell books, but it took me lots of different places. So who knows what's actually going to happen today. But I want to end up with Katagiri Roshi's Peaceful Life. So I wanted to start with, because I heard Juliet too say in the book, What is Zen? Norman Fisher and Sue Moon. I'm going to lower my hand, even though my hands will probably go up again. Because I think we were all, when Gretchen read this, the question is, what if a person who is lonely, single, and lives alone without family joins a Zen center for the company in order to feel a sense of belonging? What if she likes the Sangha potlucks more than sitting Zazen? Which is probably a little bit true of all of us, or who knows, some part. But I think this question of belonging is like, what are we doing here, and why are we here? And it seems to me, because we're human beings, we're probably thinking, well, who's the real Zen person here? And I'm not really the Zen person. And I just showed up, and they've been doing it forever. And I mean, all that stuff that we do. So I really like that question, and the fundamental question of what is the deep human need for belonging. So I'll just read a little bit here. This is Norman Fisher. To me, the sense of belonging you refer to is beautiful and profound. We're surrounded by people all the time, and we can feel very alone. The need for belonging is one of the deepest of all human needs, maybe as deep as the need for food. It seems to me that this need goes to the heart of why human beings have always practiced some form of communal religious life in virtually all times and places. And of course, the irony, the paradox, is I mean, we are intricately a part of everything. We belong to everything, and everything belongs to us, and we're breathing everything in and out. And there's radical, I mean, that's the heart of the teachings, and we know that in moments. But as human beings, I think we also just experience feeling so alone because we are alone, encased in these little skins and brains and so a fundamental question for me, or a language that I really love and appreciate, is being a true human being. What is it to be a true human being? What is it to be this human being that the language I've been using from Suzuki Roshi, the swinging door or the swinging gate of, in this case, we are so deeply interconnected. Our heart beats to get together when we enter the same space, but it's one heartbeat. And we each have to take responsibility and are in a karmic body. And we're neither, we're all of the above, but to wake up to that is where compassion and bodhisattva vow and activity is born. And Sangha is an embodiment of that. This is where we practice. So let me tell you a couple of other things that I found while I was fishing around in all of this. This is from Shohaku Okamura, Living by Vow. It talks about two aspects of vow. One is actually three. Uh-oh, I only got to two. Well, anyway. That each one of us, whether we are deluded or enlightened, find some ground or direction. How do we live? What are we doing here? And Shohaku says, living in reality is called living as it isness. We are living our as it isness, and yet we are always blind to it. This is our life as human beings. First, we have to realize that we are deluded. And then we have to go back to the reality of life through the practice of this reality. We live in the reality of this life, yet we always lose sight of it, so we must keep returning to it. Just as it isness, just come back, just this. And one of the ways we do this is to live in a Sangha and to practice with other people. Many of us, most of us, some of us, have some part of us at least that don't like human beings very much, or at least I'll just confess. Some of us like dogs more than people. Anyway, we all enter in one way or another. And sometimes, it's like we kind of like ourselves, but we kind of don't. But so we come into Sangha because we sort of know we need to be with each other. And I think traditionally in Zen, at least when I first started practicing, and still in many places, is it's such a wonderful way to be with people because you get to sit on your cushion or in a chair and you sit zazen and you're here with other people, but you don't really have to talk to other people. It's like I always think a sesshin is really like a Zen party. It's like that's my kind of party. You get to be with people, but you don't have to talk. Maybe not all of you. I'm an introvert. This is always a stretch to just talk. Part of what we learn in this tradition. And then we get here and we find out that there is something that happens in the silence. There's something intimate and beautiful that happens. in the walking and the sitting. And we also, in this Sangha and in many other Sanghas now, we also talk to each other, which again, we never used to do. I look back on that and I think I was at Zen Center for a whole lot of years. And there's so many, I knew everybody so intimately that, but there were so many things we never didn't know anything about each other. Anyway, now we try to do more of a swinging gait. But also you come into Sangha and then as Gretchen was reminding us, the thing about rock tumbler of Sangha is we come up against ourselves, we come up against other people. Shohaku says, living within a Sangha and practicing with other people, that is to walk together with all living beings. We do this with the three minds, joyful mind. There's joy, Juliet. I got joy in there. Parental mind and magnanimous mind. We practice as a Sangha, not simply as an individual, but as one whole body. Sorry, guys, but I hope this is helpful, the things I'm finding. Suzuki Roshi, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And this is where Gretchen's talk took me, is nothing special. There's nothing special about any of this. It's like, what is Zen? I'm doing Zen. I'm a person of Zen. I'm not a Zen person. Whatever we think we are, or we aren't. How do we live? As long as we are alive, we are always doing something. But as long as you think, I am doing this, or I have to do this, or I must attain something special, you are actually not doing anything. When you give up, when you no longer want something, or when you do not try to do anything special, then you do something. So how do we show up here? Completely ourselves with all of our stuff. And of course we want to do something. I mean, I want to be kinder. I want to be nicer. I want you all to like me, you know, whatever. I mean, whatever is. But then there's something that happens that's more than the sum of the parts. That's what we're helping each other with. When there is no gaining idea in what you do, then you do something. In Zazen, what we are doing is not for the sake of anything. You may feel as if you are doing something special, but actually it is only the expression of your true nature. It is the activity which appeases your inmost desire, just to sit upright, present in the midst of the whole world, with and for each other, doing nothing. As long as you think you are practicing Zazen for the sake of something, that is not true practice. When we express our true nature, we are human beings. When we do not know what we are. We are not an animal because we walk on two legs. We are something different from an animal, but what are we? To be a human being is to be a Buddha. We sit Zazen not to become a Buddha, but because it's an expression of who we truly are. We are a Buddha when we sit. When we come to Sangha, Sangha is an extension of Buddha. This is Buddha's home. And the Sangha is, everything is Buddha's home. Everything is Buddha nature. The whole world is love and interconnection and joy and parental mind and magnanimous mind. Buddha nature is just another name for human nature, our true human nature. Thus, even though you do not do anything, you are actually doing something. You are expressing yourself. You are expressing your true nature. Your eyes will express. Your voice will express. Your demeanor will express. The most important thing is to express your true nature in the simplest, most adequate way and to appreciate it in the smallest existence. I'm going to read that again. The most important thing is to express your true nature in the simplest, most adequate way and to appreciate it in the smallest existence. Do not think about anything. Just remain on your cushion. Just keep coming here without expecting anything. Then eventually you will resume your own true nature. That is to say, your own true nature resumes itself. We all just need some place to belong, a sense of belonging so that we actually can open into and blossom into who we truly are. And it really doesn't matter where you go or what you're doing or what tradition you're in. But if you found your way here, then this is just a place. I think that's why I like this flyer for our Sangha meeting is it's the unfolding petals of our practice. We're all the unfolding petals of practice, giving each other space and love and kindness to be able to remember who we truly are. And what arises the word in our tradition is bodhicitta. I mean, bodhicitta brings you here, but bodhicitta also is what blossoms. It's what a bodhisattva knows, because a bodhisattva knows. We'll just turn to Norman here for a minute. You guys still sort of more or less following me? Okay. In the Mahayana Buddhist teachings, the bodhisattva clearly sees that no one can be happy or content while others are suffering. There is no individual awakening. No one can be happy. No one can be enlightened unless everyone is happy and enlightened. Self and other are not truly different existing entities. They are mutually conditioned positions or concepts. What we call a person, me, you, is in reality a series of interactions and relationships. There is no atomized, freestanding person. This is completely obvious to bodhisattvas. That is why love, compassion, and friendship are at the center of the bodhisattva path. Sangha is at the center of the bodhisattva path. Community, Mahasangha, the whole world, relationships, love, compassion, and friendship are at the center of the path. That is why the Buddha of the coming era is called Maitreya, the Buddha of the practice of friendship. That's our job. Be good spiritual friends to ourselves and to everybody. That's what we come here to practice. And then it helps us go out and go in the grocery store line, or when we're driving in a car, or when we're watching news or not watching news, or whatever we're doing. So I want to say something about bodhicitta. Because bodhicitta, citta means mind or heart or attitude, and bodhi means awake or enlightened or completely open. That's what arises. That's what brings us here, is once we understand, once we look around and we see there's suffering, and I want you to be happy and I want to be happy, and it's all interrelated. And we begin to sense that maybe we're a little confused. Maybe sometimes we're a lot confused. And it comes and it goes, and we're Buddhas and we're not Buddhas. But something starts to vibrate and open in the heart. I mean, I experience it in the heart chakra. I used to think that the arising of bodhicitta and maybe it's, I mean, I don't think it has to be either or, is that the arising of bodhicitta would be like really joyful. And it does become, my experience is it does become joy, but I really like what Pema Chodron has to say too. She calls it the soft spot. Something begins to soften, or is already soft, but we were protecting it and we didn't know what to do with it. A place as vulnerable and tender, as she says, as an open wound. It's like, oh, I think that's why we put our hands on our hearts. It's like, oh. An analogy, this is Pema, for bodhicitta is the rawness of a broken heart. Sometimes this broken heart gives birth to anxiety and panic, and sometimes anger, resentment, and blame. But under the hardness of that armor, there is the tenderness of genuine sadness, which I think is genuine love. It's like, oh, once you start looking around, it's like, oh, that is our link with all those who have ever loved. This genuine heart of sadness can teach us great compassion. It can humble us when we're arrogant and soften us when we're unkind. It awakens us when we prefer to sleep and pierces through our indifference. This continual ache of the heart is a blessing that, when fully accepted, can be shared with all. I think, okay, that's what I keep coming back to, because my heart won't let me do anything else. If you can think of something else to do, please go do it. This is a quote from Suzuki Roshi. There's nowhere to go. It's raining everywhere. And we all know the quote, it's like walking in a light rain or fog, and you just gradually get wet all the way through. You don't, something happens, but you don't know what, just by giving yourself to yourself and to Sangha and to the whole world. Suzuki Roshi. I think this is about Sangha and about how we be with all beings. The Buddhist way is, in one word, compassion. This means to encourage people when they are feeling positive and also to help them get rid of that suffering. That is true love. It is not just to give something or to receive something or to observe precepts or to think you're a Zen person or whether you got it or didn't get it. We just practice our way with things as they naturally occur, going with people, suffering with them, helping to relieve their suffering, and encouraging them to go on and on. This is just Sangha's, just where and how we practice with the whole world and with our own hearts and our own delusion and our own amazing beating hearts of love and kindness. So all of that, actually, back to belonging and how do we live it? What is it to belong to ourselves and the whole world? I wanted us to read out loud, and you guys will have to share. Maybe you can make sure that you can look on with people, and Sue's going to put on screen Katagiri Roshi's Peaceful Life. And then we're going to break up into groups, and you can talk about this and anything that comes up with it. So let's all recite Katagiri's. Here, we'll do it as a chant. Peaceful Katagiri Roshi now. Peaceful life. Being told that it is impossible, one believes in despair. Is that so? Being told that it is possible, one believes in excitement. That's right. But whichever is chosen, it does not fit one's heart neatly. Being asked what is unfitting, I don't know what it is, but my heart knows somehow. I feel an irresistible desire to know what a human is. as to this mystery, clarifying, knowing how to live, knowing how to talk with people, demonstrating and teaching, this is the Buddha. From my human eyes, I feel it's really impossible to become Buddha. But this I, regarding what the Buddha does, vows to practice, to aspire, to be resolute, and tells myself, yes, I will. Just practice right here and now and achieve continuity endlessly forever. This is living in vow. Herein is one's peaceful life found. So I'm going to in a minute send you into small groups. You can talk about anything that came up with this chant. Question of what is it to be a true human being? How do you bring yourself back? How do you remember? What's it feel like when you forget? And how does Sangha and community help you remember when you're forgetting? Because we all remember and forget, or anything in any of that, okay? So talk to people that you don't usually talk to, move yourself